every single morning. The same thing. You wake up, and before you even get out of bed, you already feel it. That pressure. That heaviness sitting low in your abdomen like something that should have left yesterday. And the day before. And the day before that. You've tried water. You've tried fiber. You've tried those over-the-counter things you'd rather not admit you bought. And some of it helped a little. For a while. Until it didn't. If you're over 50 and you're watching this right now, there is a 1 in 3 chance that what you're feeling has a name. Chronic constipation. Not occasional. Not situational. Chronic. Persistent. Quietly exhausting in a way that nobody talks about at the dinner table. And here's the part that bothers me most about this. You've probably been told it's normal. Your doctor mentioned fiber and water and maybe handed you a pamphlet. Your family noticed you were uncomfortable and changed the subject. And somewhere along the way, you started doing what most people do. You accepted it, not because you gave up, but because everyone around you kept calling it a natural part of aging. It isn't. Common and normal are two completely different things. And what is happening inside your digestive system right now is common. It is not inevitable. It is not irreversible. And it is absolutely not something you have to spend the rest of your life managing around. Today we are going to talk about what is actually causing this, what the science genuinely says about 5 oils that can be part of a real solution, and what a practical daily approach actually looks like for someone over 50. No miracle promises, no dramatic numbers pulled from nowhere, just the truth delivered straight the way you deserve to hear it. Stay with me. Let me tell you what's actually happening inside your body. Not the version designed to scare you, the real version. Because once you understand it, something shifts. You stop blaming yourself, and you start seeing solutions where before you only saw dead ends. After 50, your digestive system doesn't break down. It slows down, and that distinction matters. A breakdown means something is wrong with you. A slowdown means something changed in you, and things that change can be addressed. Here's where it starts. The walls of your colon are lined with layers of smooth muscle that contract in rhythmic waves, pushing waste forward and out of your body. That process is called peristalsis. When it works, you don't think about it. When it slows, you think about almost nothing else. Research published in Neurogastroenterology and Motility found that colonic transit time increases by an average of 40% in adults over 60 compared to younger adults. 40% slower. Here's where it starts. The walls of your colon are lined with layers of smooth muscle that contract in rhythmic waves, pushing waste forward and out of your body. That process is called peristalsis. When it works, you don't think about it. When it slows, you think about almost nothing else. Research published in Neurogastroenterology and Motility found that colonic transit time increases by an average of 40% in adults over 60 compared to younger adults. 40% slower. Bile lubricates and stimulates your entire intestinal tract. It keeps things moving. Without adequate bile flow, digestion becomes sluggish at every level. And here's where aging enters the picture. Research published in the journal Gut found that bile acid synthesis declines measurably with age. The enzymes responsible become less efficient. The signals between your gut and your liver slow down. Your gallbladder contracts with less force than it did at 35. The result is a slower, drier digestive environment. Waste that should move through in 24 to 48 hours begins taking 70 to 96, sometimes more than 100 hours. And while it waits, your colon keeps absorbing water from it. What should be soft becomes hard. What should pass easily becomes something you strain and wait and hope for. That chronic straining has consequences of its own. Hemorrhoids. Pelvic floor dysfunction. A persistent feeling that elimination is never quite complete. If any of that sounds familiar, you're not imagining it. Now, let's talk about your microbiome. Because this is where it gets genuinely fascinating. Your gut is home to somewhere between 38 and 100 trillion microorganisms living in a carefully balanced ecosystem that influences not just digestion, but immunity, inflammation, cardiovascular health, and even mood. When transit time is normal, this ecosystem thrives. When it slows, the balance shifts. A landmark study in Nature Reviews Gastroenterology and Hepatology found that chronic constipation is directly associated with reduced microbial diversity and an increase in bacteria linked to intestinal inflammation. Less variety in your gut bacteria means a weaker, less resilient digestive system. And here is a cycle that nobody draws clearly enough. Slower transit feeds microbial imbalance. Microbial imbalance feeds inflammation. Inflammation slows motility further. The system tightens around itself like a knot pulled from both ends. But here's what I want you to hold on to right now. Every single one of these mechanisms responds to intervention. The muscles respond to movement and specific nutrients. Bile production responds to the right dietary fats. The microbiome responds to what you consistently feed it. The inflammation responds to what you remove and what you deliberately add. Your body is not finished. It is waiting for the right inputs. And that is exactly where we're going next. Important, everything discussed in this video is for educational purposes only. Please consult your physician before making any changes to your diet or health routine, especially if you are on medication or managing an existing condition. Now we get to the part you've been waiting for. Before we go through these oils one by one, I want to be honest with you. You've probably seen videos like this before. Videos that throw around numbers like 60% fat elimination and flush pounds of waste in 48 hours. That language is designed to excite you. It's also designed to keep you from thinking clearly. What I'm going to give you is what the research actually shows, not what sounds good. What is true? And the truth, it turns out, is interesting enough on its own. Let's start from the bottom. Flaxseed oil. Quietly underrated. Flaxseed oil is the richest plant source of alpha-linolenic acid, an omega-3 fatty acid your body uses to manage inflammation throughout the digestive tract. A study in the World Journal of Gastroenterology found that flaxseed oil significantly improved gut barrier integrity and reduced intestinal inflammation within 3 weeks. Your intestinal lining is not a passive tube, it's an active barrier. When it's inflamed, it doesn't absorb properly, it doesn't move properly, and waste doesn't pass the way it should. Flaxseed oil helps restore that lining. Think of it as preparing the road before you drive on it. 1 tablespoon in the morning, cold, never heated. Store it in the refrigerator. If you're on blood thinners, talk to your doctor first. Black seed oil. Black seed oil contains thymoquinone, a compound with genuine antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. But for constipation specifically, it falls short. It protects gut tissue and calms inflammation, but it doesn't meaningfully stimulate the movement of waste through your intestines. For general gut health, it has value. As a standalone solution for chronic constipation, the evidence simply isn't there. MCT oil. This is where it gets genuinely interesting. Medium-chain triglycerides are structurally different from the long-chain fats that make up most of what you eat. They bypass normal digestion almost entirely, going directly from your gut to your liver through the portal vein, fast, direct, efficient. When your liver receives a rapid influx of medium-chain fat, it responds by increasing bile production. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed that MCT consumption leads to measurably increased bile acid production compared to long-chain fatty acids. That bile then flows into your intestines, stimulating motility and softening stool. Start with 1 teaspoon per day. MCT oil works fast, and too much too soon will make for an uncomfortable morning. After a week, increase to 1 tablespoon. Add it to coffee or a smoothie. It's flavorless and mixes easily. Coconut oil. Coconut oil is a primary natural source of lauric acid, a medium-chain fatty acid with documented antimicrobial properties. Research in the Journal of Medicinal Food demonstrated that lauric acid disrupts the cell membranes of harmful gut bacteria, contributing to a healthier microbial balance over time. A separate study in complementary therapies in medicine found that virgin coconut oil improves stool consistency and frequency in participants with functional constipation. The key word is virgin. Refined coconut oil loses a significant portion of its beneficial compounds during processing. Cold-pressed, virgin, unrefined, read the label carefully. 1 to 2 tablespoons in the morning. Straight or melted into warm water, 30 minutes before eating. Extra virgin olive oil. This is where the evidence is strongest and the history is longest. Oleic acid, the primary monounsaturated fat in extra virgin olive oil, has a well-documented effect on gallbladder contraction and bile secretion. A study using ultrasound imaging, published in the journal Gut, confirmed that olive oil triggers measurable gallbladder contraction and increases bile flow into the small intestine within 2 hours of consumption. A clinical study following adults over 55 who consumed 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil daily for 12 weeks found meaningful improvements in intestinal transit time, stool frequency, and bloating. Researchers also noted increases in beneficial gut bacteria associated with the Mediterranean dietary pattern. Beyond constipation, olive oil's polyphenols, particularly oleocanthal, have anti-inflammatory properties that matter specifically for an aging gut dealing with chronic, low-grade inflammation. 2 tablespoons in the morning on an empty stomach. Dark glass bottle. Look for a harvest date on the label, not just an expiration date. Fresh oil from a dark bottle is genuinely different from a plastic bottle sitting on a shelf for 2 years. Here's what I want you to take from all of this. None of these oils is a miracle. None of them will flush your system overnight. What they will do, used consistently and correctly, is give your digestive system compounds it actually needs to do its job. They work with your biology, not around it. That's a completely different kind of promise. Less exciting, maybe. But it's the kind that holds up 6 months from now. Here's something I need to say before we go any further. The oils matter. The science behind them is real. But if you walk away from this video thinking that 2 tablespoons of olive oil every morning is going to undo decades of digestive decline on its own, I haven't done my job. The oils are one piece, an important piece. But your gut is not a drain that needs flushing. It's a living system that needs rebuilding. And rebuilding requires more than one ingredient. So let's talk about the complete picture. The first thing most people over 50 are chronically short on is hydration. Not hydration in theory. The kind that actually reaches your colon. Research published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that increasing daily water intake by just 1.5 liters in adults with chronic constipation led to a significant increase in stool frequency and a measurable decrease in transit time. Your colon needs water to keep stool soft. When you're even mildly dehydrated, it pulls more water from waste than it should. The result is stool that is harder, drier, and slower. The practical target is 8 to 10 glasses of water daily. And timing matters. A full glass of warm water first thing in the morning, before the olive oil, before breakfast, before anything else, is one of the simplest and most underused tools for stimulating morning bowel activity. The second piece is fiber. But not all fiber works the same way, and this distinction is critical. Soluble fiber, found in oats, apples, flaxseed, and legumes, dissolves in water and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Insoluble fiber, found in whole grains, vegetables, and bran, adds bulk and speeds transit. You need both. But most people over 50 are eating far below the recommended 25 to 30 grams daily, often less than half that amount. The 2 most clinically studied individual foods for constipation are prunes and kiwi fruit. A randomized controlled trial in alimentary pharmacology and therapeutics found that kiwi fruits daily performed as well as psyllium husk supplementation and was better tolerated. Prunes outperformed psyllium directly in head-to-head comparisons for stool frequency. 2 for prunes in the morning alongside your olive oil is a combination with genuine science behind it. No supplement required. The third piece is movement. Your colon responds to physical activity in a way that is direct and documented. A meta-analysis in the Scandinavian Journal of Gastroenterology confirmed that regular moderate physical activity significantly reduces constipation symptoms in older adults. You don't need a gym, you don't need intensity. A 30-minute walk sends signals to your intestines that nothing else replicates. Steady rhythmic motion, the abdominal engagement, the increased circulation. All of it tells your gut it's time to move. If you're sedentary right now, this single change may do more for your digestive system than every oil on this list combined. The fourth piece is stress. And I know that might sound like a stretch, but bear with me for a moment. The gut-brain connection is not a metaphor. It is a documented physiological pathway called the gut-brain axis, ectopadro. Your gut contains over 100 million neurons and produces approximately 95% of your body's serotonin. When you are under chronic psychological stress, your nervous system shifts resources away from digestion. Motility slows. Inflammation rises. Everything tightens. A review published in the journal Gut found that psychological stress is a significant contributing factor to functional constipation in older adults. Managing stress is not optional for gut health. It is foundational. If you stayed with me this far, I want to stop for just a moment and say something directly to you. You didn't click on this video by accident. You're here because something in your body has been asking for attention, and you've been paying attention. That matters more than you know. This channel exists for exactly that person. Someone who wants the truth, not a sales pitch. Someone who wants to understand their own body well enough to make decisions that actually hold up over time. If that's you, hit subscribe. It costs nothing. And share this with someone you love who's been told their discomfort is just part of getting older. Because nobody should have to accept that in silence. Now, one more element. And it may be the most underestimated of everything we've covered today. Magnesium. Nearly 48% of Americans consume less magnesium than the recommended daily amount, according to the National Institutes of Health. And magnesium plays a direct role in gut motility. It draws water into the colon through osmosis, softening stool and stimulating peristalsis naturally. A clinical trial in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that magnesium supplementation significantly improves stool frequency and consistency in older women with constipation. The form matters. Magnesium oxide, the most common form in cheap supplements, is poorly absorbed. Magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate are far more bioavailable and gentler on the system. 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate at night, with your doctor's guidance, is worth a conversation at your next appointment. What you're building here is not a protocol. It's a system. Hydration in the morning, olive oil before breakfast, fiber from real food, a 30-minute walk, stress you manage rather than absorb, and the right micronutrients supporting everything underneath. Each element supports the others. None of them is complicated, and none of them is optional. Let's make this real. Everything we've talked about, the biology, the bile, the oils, the fiber, the hydration, it only matters if it becomes something you actually do. Not for 3 days. Not for a week when you're feeling motivated. Every day. The way you take your blood pressure medication. The way you brush your teeth. Without negotiation and without excuses. So let's build the day together. From the moment you open your eyes. Morning, the foundation. Before coffee. Before your phone. Before anything else. A full glass of warm water. 8 to 12 ounces. Not ice cold. Cold water in the morning causes your intestinal walls to contract. Warm water does the opposite. It relaxes them. It begins waking your digestive system gently, the way a morning was meant to begin. Give it 5 minutes. Just 5. Then 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. If straight feels like too much, mix it into warm water with a squeeze of lemon. The lemon isn't just flavor. Citric acid mildly stimulates gastric acid production, which supports the digestive cascade that follows. A study in food chemistry confirmed that combining olive oil with lemon juice measurably increases the bioavailability of olive oil's polyphenols. Then wait 20 to 30 minutes before breakfast. This is not optional. The empty stomach window is when olive oil does its most important work, with nothing competing for digestion. The oleic acid reaches your liver and gallbladder faster and triggers a cleaner, more complete bile response. Then eat breakfast. Real food. To kiwi fruits. A bowl of oatmeal with a tablespoon of ground flaxseed or both. 1 cup of oatmeal gives you 4 grams of soluble fiber. The flaxseed adds to more and delivers the alpha-linolenic acid we covered earlier. To kiwis contribute another 4 grams along with actinidin, a digestive enzyme unique to kiwi that clinical research has shown improves both protein digestion and gut motility. 10 grams of fiber. No supplements, just breakfast. If you want to add MCT oil, put 1 teaspoon into your morning coffee or smoothie, but not at the same time as the olive oil. Give your system 30 minutes between them. Your liver and gallbladder respond to 1 major bile stimulus at a time. Stacking them doesn't double the effect. It creates competition where you want cooperation. Midday, the maintenance window. Lunch is where vegetables are in their place. Not as a side thought, as the foundation of the plate. Cooked vegetables are gentler on an aging gut than raw because heat breaks down the cellulose structure and reduces the digestive effort required. Steamed broccoli, roasted sweet potato, sautéed spinach, cooked carrots. These are not boring choices. They are the choices that keep your system moving through the afternoon, when it most wants to slow down. In the afternoon, to 2 for prunes, simple, inexpensive, clinically validated in head-to-head trials against psyllium husk. Prunes 1. More improvement in stool frequency, better consistency, better tolerance. Eat them slowly. Drink water with them. If you're using flaxseed oil, 1 tablespoon cold over your lunch salad or cooked vegetables. Never heated. The omega-3 fatty acids in flaxseed oil oxidize rapidly at high temperatures and lose their value entirely when cooked, cold only. Every time, afternoon, the walk. 30 minutes. That's the whole ask, not a gym, not a trainer, not intensity, just 30 consecutive minutes of walking at a pace that slightly elevates your breathing but still lets you hold a conversation. Research from the American Journal of Gastroenterology found that this exact level of activity reduced colonic transit time by an average of 23% in sedentary older adults, 23% from a walk around the block. Think about that. If 30 minutes is too much right now, start with 15. Start with 10. The number matters less than the habit. This needs to happen every day. Not most days. Every day. Because your colon doesn't take days off. Evening, the recovery window. Dinner should be your lightest meal. This runs directly counter to how most Americans eat, and that inversion is one of the most important shifts you can make. Your digestive system runs on a circadian rhythm just like the rest of your body. Enzyme production, bile secretion, gut motility, all of it peaks in the morning and tapers through the evening. A heavy dinner asks your slowing digestive system to do its hardest work at its lowest capacity. That's the wrong equation. Flip it. Lean protein, cooked vegetables, a small amount of healthy fat. Simple. Early. Finish eating by 7 in the evening and let your gut begin its overnight work without competition. Before bed, magnesium glycinate, 200 to 400 milligrams with a glass of water, 30 minutes before sleep. Magnesium relaxes smooth muscle, draws water into the colon through osmosis, and sets the stage for morning motility. Many people find that consistent nighttime magnesium produces results by the following morning in a way that feels entirely natural. Not forced, not urgent, just the system working the way it was designed to work. And then sleep. 7 to 8 hours. Your gut repairs itself during sleep. The cells lining your intestinal wall replace themselves every 3 to 5 days. But that renewal requires deep, uninterrupted sleep to complete. Chronic sleep deprivation measurably impairs gut barrier integrity. This is not soft advice. This is biology. Sleep is gut medicine. Treat it that way. The weekly view, Monday through Friday. The morning protocol runs without exception. Warm water, olive oil, real fiber breakfast. Afternoon walk, every day. No negotiation, Saturday. Rotate into tablespoons of virgin coconut oil in place of the olive oil. Lauric acid works through a different mechanism than oleic acid, and alternating them prevents the kind of adaptation that quietly dulls results over time. Sunday, rest the oils entirely. Give your gallbladder a quiet day. Drink extra water. Eat simply. Let the system breathe before the week begins again. Here's what this protocol is not. It is not a cleanse. It is not a flush. It is not a shortcut dressed up in scientific language. It is a daily maintenance system built on legitimate, peer-reviewed biology, calibrated for safety and sustainability for adults over 50. You will not feel dramatic results in 48 hours. You will feel gradual, real, lasting improvement over 2 to 4 weeks. And for weeks from now, when your system is working the way it was designed to work, going back to how things felt before will no longer be something you're willing to consider. That's the goal, not a transformation. A new standard. A baseline for how your body feels every single day. And that is something worth building carefully. One morning at a time. We've covered a lot of ground today. And before we close, I want to say something that has nothing to do with oils or protocols or studies. Something more important than any of that. You've been living with this for a while. Maybe years. And somewhere along the way, you accepted it. Not because you gave up, but because everyone around you kept telling you that this is just what getting older feels like. Heavy after meals, slow in the morning, bloated by afternoon, uncomfortable in your own skin. And you nodded. And you moved on. Because what else do you do when the people you trust tell you something is normal? Here's what I want to leave you with. Your body is not running out of time. It is running out of the right inputs. And those are two completely different problems. One has no solution. The other has several. And we went through them today, one by one, with real science behind every single one. Warm water before anything else. Olive oil on an empty stomach. Real fiber from real food. A 30-minute walk that your colon is quietly asking for. Magnesium at night. Flaxseed oil cold over lunch. MCT oil in your morning coffee. 1 teaspoon. Patient and consistent. Prunes that have been outperforming expensive supplements in clinical trials for years. None of this is complicated. None of it is expensive. All of it is real. But here's the part that only you can decide. Information without action is just entertainment. And you didn't come here to be entertained. You came here because something in your body has been asking for attention, quietly, persistently, for longer than you want to admit. The question now is not whether this works. The science answered that. The question is whether you'll give it 30 days. Just 30. Not a lifetime commitment. 30 mornings of warm water and olive oil before breakfast. 30 afternoons with a handful of prunes and a walk around the block. 30 nights with magnesium and 7 hours of sleep. And then you decide. Based on how you feel. Not on what anyone told you to expect. Because your gut doesn't need a miracle. It needs you. Consistently. Every day. Without negotiation. Your energy lives there. Your immunity lives there. The way you feel when you wake up, the way your clothes fit, the way your mind works after lunch. All of it begins in that 30 feet of intestinal tract that most people never think about. Until it stops working. Start thinking about it now, while there is still so much you can do. If this video gave you something real today, I want to ask you for 3 things. Subscribe to this channel. We're here every day. Real science, real solutions, no miracle promises. If that's what you've been looking for, we're here. Share this with 5 people you care about. 5 people over 50 who have been told that how they feel is just part of aging. Because maybe what they need is someone to finally tell them the truth. And leave me a comment below. Not just a thumbs up. A real comment. Tell me how long you've been dealing with this. Tell me what you've already tried. Tell me what you want us to cover next, because this channel exists for you. And the best videos we make are always the ones you ask for. What do you want to understand about your body that nobody has ever explained to you clearly? Tell me below. I'll be here.